Hello, today I will read Leviticus chapter 8. In chapter 7 we saw that for each offering it was about a tax, a share for the priest, a portion for each of the offering, because the priest lived they were living from that tax, from that share. That was their portion, their part. Okay, now let's continue with chapter 8. The Lord said to Moses, "Bring Aaron and his sons, their garments, the anointing oil, the bull for the sin offering, the 2 rams, and the basket containing bread made without yeast, and gather the entire assembly at the entrance to the tent of meeting." Moses did as the Lord commanded him, and the assembly gathered at the entrance to the tent of meeting. Moses said to the assembly, "This is what the Lord has commanded to be done." Then Moses brought Aaron and his sons forward and washed them with water. He put the tunic on Aaron, tied the sash around him, clothed him with the robe, and put the ephod on him. He also tied the ephod to him by its skillfully woven waistband, so it was fastened on him. He placed the breastpiece on him and put the Urim and Thummim in the breastpiece. Then he placed the turban on Aaron's head and set the gold plate, the sacred diadem, on the front of it, as the Lord commanded Moses. Then Moses took the anointing oil and anointed the tabernacle and everything in it, and so consecrated them. He sprinkled some of the oil on the altar 7 times, anointing the altar and all its utensils, as the basin with its stand, to consecrate them. Yeah, wow, it was very interesting to sprinkle with oil and all those things to become holy, to become holy. Very interesting. He poured some of the anointing oil on Aaron's head and anointed him to consecrate him. Then he brought Aaron's sons forward, put tunics on them, tied sashes around them, and put headbands on them, as the Lord commanded Moses. Very nice. As the Lord commanded Moses. To recognize God into your life, into your plans, but those were not his plans, Moses' plans. It were God's plans, and everything was God's plan, and he should have been respect all the order. He then presented the bull for the sin offering, and Aaron and his sons laid their hands on its head. Moses slaughtered the bull and took some of the blood, and with his finger he put it on all the horns of the altar to purify the altar. He poured out the rest of the blood at the base of the altar. So he consecrated it to take atonement for it. Moses also took all the fat around the inner parts, the covering of the liver, and both kidneys and their fat, and burned it on the altar. But the bull with its hide and its flesh and its offal he burned up outside the camp, as the Lord commanded Moses. as the Lord commanded Moses. He then presented the ram for the burnt offering, and Aaron and his sons laid their hands on its head. Then Moses slaughtered the ram and sprinkled the blood against the altar on all sides. It was an image not very nice to see all of those sacrifices. It's a scary image to realize that everything, it have a cost. It cost lives, it cost blood, so it's not that simple. Then Moses slaughtered the ram and sprinkled the blood against the altar on all sides. He cut the ram into pieces and burned the head, the pieces, and the fat. He washed the inner parts and the legs with water and burned the whole ram on the altar as a burnt offering, a pleasing aroma, an offering made to the Lord by fire, as the Lord commanded Moses. If we would see that image, every time if we will make, it's a case when we fall into a sin to kill an animal, for that, to slaughter an animal, and a good animal, it cost, it have a price at first, and then you cannot have, you are a human, and I think you have mercy, mercy, something in you. Maybe after a while you will be used to it, but it's still that image that someone, an animal, should die because of your sin. This was not just about a sin. That's why I don't really understand why so much blood, so much lives of animals, to consecrate, to make it holy, to whoa, and more, and even an offering to the God. But still, we can explain that a bit. You would have a part too, from what. So when you want to eat a lamb or something, and you want to give it to the God, a part of it will belong. A part of it will be burned. A part of it will belong to the priest, and the other part it belongs to you. So yeah, but not in each case. I think it's a bit different. It is. He cut the ram into pieces and burnt the head, the pieces, and the fat. He washed the inner parts and the legs with water and burnt the whole ram on the altar as a burnt offering, a pleasing aroma, an offering made to the Lord by fire, as the Lord commanded Moses. He then presented the ram for the ordination. And Aaron and his sons laid their hands on its head. Moses slaughtered the ram and took some of its blood and put it on the lobe of Aaron's right ear, on the thumb of his right hand, and on the big toe of his right foot. Right hand, we can think that it was a fingerprint, but on ear or on a toe of the big toe of his right foot, yeah, it's still a fingerprint, but the lobe, interesting. Right, on the right part, all of them. Moses also brought Aaron's sons forward and put some of the blood on the lobes of their ears, on the thumbs of their right hands, and on the big toes of their right feet. Then he sprinkled blood against the altar on all sides. He took the fat tail, and the fat around the inner parts, the covering of the liver, both kidneys, and their fat, and the right thigh. Then from the basket of bread made without yeast, which was before the Lord, he took a cake of bread, and one made with oil and a wafer. He put these on the fat portions and on the right thigh. He put all these in the hands of Aaron and his sons, and waved them before the Lord as a wave offering. Very interesting with the wave. I really don't understand what is the real meaning of it. To wave the things. I don't understand that thing. Then Moses took them from their hands and burned them on the altar on top of the burnt offering as an ordination offering, a pleasing aroma, an offering made to the Lord by fire. He also took the breast, Moses' share for the ordination ram, and waved it before the Lord as a wave offering, as the Lord commanded Moses. Then Moses took some of the anointing oil and some of the blood from the altar and sprinkled them on Aaron and his garments, and on his sons and their garments. So he consecrated Aaron and his garments, and his sons and their garments. Moses then said to Aaron and his sons, "Cook the meat at the entrance of the tent of meeting, and eat it there with the bread from the basket of ordination offerings, as I commanded," saying Aaron and his sons are to eat it. So I thought there was no part, but it was, and I think this is better. I mean, if you want to be a part of that, to take part of that offering, to that ordination offering, you must take a part of it. I mean, into yourself. I mean, to be into yourself, not just outside of you. Saying Aaron and his sons are to eat it. Then burn up the rest of the meat and the bread. Well, there was no leftovers. Do not leave the entrance to the tent of meeting for 7 days, until the days of your ordination are completed. Whoa, 7 days they should stay on the entrance of the tent of meeting, or in the tent of meeting, or I think, yeah, on the entrance. Until the days of your ordinations are completed. For your ordination will last 7 days. What has been done today was commanded by the Lord to make atonement for you. You must stay at the entrance to the tent of meeting day and night for 7 days, and do what the Lord requires. So you will not die. Wow, so God will require something for them. For this is what I have been commanded. So Aaron and his sons did everything the Lord commanded through Moses. It's a very nice thing. An ordination, not just a paper or a stamp, or yeah, you are ordinated, or just a pray and put some oil on it. No, it was about an offering, a blood there, about a sacrifice, and about being part of that, to eat the meat of that ordination, and to stay 7 days in the tent of meeting. If it's something serious, you must make serious preparings for everything. That was the chapter. May the God bless me, protect me, and enlighten me in the next chapter too. And if He wants, you will see me there too. God bless you all, and goodbye.